on my table, we looked at the following. One, integrity.
Integrity?
Yes, integrity of the leaders.
Okay.
Two, competence.
Competence?
Yes.
Okay.
Three, responsiveness to matters arising.
Okay. Response to...
Yes, any, be it good or bad.
Challenges.
Yes.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Responsiveness to challenges. Okay.
Yes, so to challenges, thank you.
Okay.
So 4 is adequate processes and procedures for governance.
Wow. So if you know how the engine of government is running.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
5, time management.
Time management.
Yes.
How do you mean?
Okay, so in fact, we were even considering the fact
come
that
early for meetings. So.
Yes, now it has trickled down to some persons arriving here late for today's event. So I think that's what we were considering when we came up with time management. Okay. Then 6, effective change management.
Effective change management.
Yes.
Again, can you break that down?
Oh, okay. So I mean, it's cuts across different things. So for instance, say change from one perspective of doing things to adopting newer and improved ways of doing things. So you know this is not working, but you're sticking to it, even when you know it doesn't work. That's in the bad side. And then when you know something works, adopting it too. So it's effective. That's what Give Up.
Effectively bringing change.
Yes,
okay,
please. So 7 is vision and goal.
Let's stop there for a minute, actually,
Okay.
because this, in a sense, probably refers back to the debate in Nigeria for restructuring. You know, perhaps that's what you mean. You know, but if part of leadership is to keep on anticipating and making changes,
Yes.
and if they don't make changes, in my mind, I think Nigeria is like a 60-year-old car. A 60-year-old car, because if you look at the police, for example, police is still the same police from 19 whatever.
Yes.
I do a lot of work in the oil and gas sector. The new Petroleum Act was created. The last one was 1969. You know, many other countries, effective countries, they look at their major laws every 10 years. So we had the same law over the petroleum for 51 years. So that tells you that, yeah. So you're right. So that constant change and yeah.
Okay, and 7, which is our last, vision and goal setting for now and the future.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's support that group with a clap. Do you have somebody from that group? Yes, ma. Yes. Come along. Be ready.
Good morning, everyone. So for my group, criteria for appraising. The first thing is vision setting. Vision setting for a united nation. We in Nigeria, we are too polarized and divided along ethnic lines. So we believe that the first thing we should check in our leader is a leader who is visionary, who can plan for the future and unite us. The second criteria is pursuit of equal justice for all. In Nigeria, we think that there are different countries. We need to have equity and justice. So we want a leader that will unite us and make sure that we all have equal rights. And then the third thing is public persuasion and engagement. Our leaders are totally disconnected from us. So if we are going to have a good leader, if we're going to appraise our leader, we should appraise the leader by how that leader persuades us to buy into their vision and also engages with us. The fourth thing is crisis leadership. Crisis leadership is very important because at every stage in governance, there will be issues to be resolved. How do you resolve those crises? Do you bully everybody? Do you tell us to shut up? Do you tell us to watch your body language? Or do you just do nothing? Do nothing is not an option. We want a leader who does something, who manages crises, political, security, financial, and so on. The fifth one is economic management. We need to build a prosperous nation. So we want to know that the leader who is with us is doing everything to make us more prosperous and creating an enabling environment. The sixth is administrative skills. We would check that our leader has administrative skills. We no longer want leaders who have never worked or managed anything to come and manage a multi-trillion naira economy. So do we have administrative skills in leadership? And then we also talked about integrity or moral authority. I mean, we use the template that you shared there. We didn't want to reinvent the wheel. So for us, we said integrity is very important. We always say we are a nation without values. That what happened to values? In those days, we used to be ashamed of things. Now I'm very surprised that people do things so brazenly. They don't even apologize. They don't say, excuse me. We grew up in an era where we were taught moral instruction in schools. But now you wonder who is training people, okay? And then performance. What's that thing? Performance within the context, yes. Because we believe that every season, every era changes. And we are now in an era where we need a leader who is responsive, who is visionary, who has integrity. So if we are praising a leader, we will not appraise that leader based on the parameters of 1960 or 1993. It will be within the context in which that leader ruled. And then finally, international relations. We believe that international relations is very important. We need to retake our position in the world stage as leaders, both regionally, continentally, and globally. Right now, Nigeria is not anywhere in the ranking of global leadership, neither in West Africa or Africa or even globally. Do people consider Nigeria very seriously when they take political decisions? So we believe that we need to take advantage of our demographic dividends, having the largest population in Africa. We no longer want to be big for nothing. That's our summary.
Thank you so much. Let's encourage her. Please, before you take your seat, it's interesting to talk about our role in politics. I met many years ago with somebody from one of the African countries, very high dignitary. We met in Europe. And he was sharing with me, he said, you Nigerians, he says that they, from that, I will mention the country, he said they cry more when Nigeria is getting things wrong. He said, because as far as I'm concerned, Nigeria is the firstborn of the African race. Every one person of all the black people in the world, a quarter of all the black people in the world are Nigerians. So he said they cry for more us, because as far as I'm concerned, if the firstborn is not going anywhere, what's the hope for the rest of the family? That was what this leader was sharing with me. We met in somewhere in Europe. He said, you don't understand that we, outside of Nigeria, we're the ones crying for you Nigerians more, because you just like, you guys are, I'm summarizing this, what example are you setting? So thank you so much for that. So much. So yes.
Good morning, everybody. Okay, from my team, I have number one, personality. Yeah, personality is talking about the competence, the whosoever that is being elected, because just like we say, or they say that leadership is not position, but it's about the personality. So when we're talking about the personality, we're talking about the track record, the pedigree, the executive disposition of such person, the competence, and all of that. And then number two, we're talking about people development. If such a leader does not have the people in mind, talking about initiating programs and projects that we empower the citizen towards growth personally and also professionally. The number three is effective management of natural resources and public funds. How do they manage the resources, the God-made resources, and then the public funds? Then number four is provision of sustainable job opportunities. We don't just need opportunities that we do today, we do tomorrow, and that's all. Sustainable, long-lasting job opportunities. And then number five is communication. Communication is very important in leadership. You will see some leaders who just come and talk anyhow, aggressively, So to actually measure, we need to know how do they communicate? How do they communicate? Why do they communicate? When do they communicate? How do they communicate it? So this is very important. And number six is education system. Education system is very important. Of course, we know what is happening recently in our education sector. It's very poor, and if effective leadership is not inclusive, the poor education we're experiencing today will keep on accumulating, or what will I say, to keep on growing and growing and growing. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Well done, well done, well done.
So for our group, I think now we feel like we should have spoken first. But nevertheless, we will represent.
So just take what others have not spoken about.
Primarily, we have on number 1, would rate our leaders well if they can just provide basic amenities.
Okay.
Give us water, give us light. These things are too basic in other countries that we have to pray for miracles for them to happen here. So we'll rate them successful, basic amenities. If we could have proper feedback, line of conversation, open a channel for conversation. Would also rate them well if we can go to places of worship and come back home. So security, we'll rate them successful that way. 4th, justice and equity, justice for all, not only for the rich. Let even the ordinary man on the streets have justice. Then 5th we have here is, and last is administrative efficiency. People run normal office things. You said something about immigration. It's terrible. Just those simple administrative things that, would take us a long way. Thank you.
For those of us who are older, when I was growing up, we actually had tap water coming to the house. We actually had tap water, but I don't know. These days you have to depend mainly on boreholes and the like. But yes, is that group ready? Is that group ready? Okay, come forward.
Good morning, everybody. So, like the last speaker said, I think everybody has legit said all we wanted to say, but nevertheless, we still move on. So, first on our list was academic, and that's talk about education. So, yeah, we look at how we're going to rate our government, whether they are failed or whether they are successful, is based on academic. Look at the recent case that's happening in Nigeria, talking about ASU. How can a government not want to pay lecturers, not want to, help their students go? You were telling me, after 1 month, they were going to wait again for another 3 months. What is that assurance that after these 3 months of the strike, they're going to cut it off? So we're hoping they will do something about it. The second one is security challenges. So, for security challenges here, from what I and my group members discussed, when you talk about security, you're looking at how safe the environment is, how safe is Nigeria is, to allow people to invest, to allow potential people that will be able to, help the economy, to help Nigeria move forward, like other multinational companies that want to invest. They may not want to invest based on, the security atmosphere of how our country is running. So, yeah. So the third one is accountability. So for accountability, now the 2023 election is coming up. Every political party obviously will have a manifesto. A manifesto is showing what they want to do, what they are going to achieve when they enter into office. Now, when we talk about APC, Buhari said this, said that, said dollar is going to reduce from this to this. This is going to happen, this is going to happen. We're not seeing anything. They're not even showing us, whether they have done this, whether they have done that. So accountability matters. When one man say, this is what he's going to do, let's see, this is what he's going to do. Even though, like he said, even though you're not going to do everything that is summarizing of the manifesto, at least let's see one notable. If it's transportation, if it's road, let's see, okay, this is road, this thing is working well, and stuff like that. The fourth one is economic growth, or GDP, gross domestic product. This basically has to do with the economy of the country. We have to see that, the economy of the country is actually stable or is moving. Let's see progress. Let's see, even though it's not like success, work in progress. So at least we know that, okay, we are moving somewhere. But Nigeria is still remaining stagnant. Like, it's not as if we're even moving forward. We're just there, and it's annoying, I guess. Then the last one is visionary, like what our madam here said. So a visionary here just talks about, I'll just give an example from what I and our group member discussed, we were talking about Dubai. They had this visionary, from where Dubai, everybody knows Dubai was formerly called a desert. You could not even see all these buildings, all these things. Everybody wants to go to Dubai. Everybody wants to have fun and stuff like that. Everybody's, building recreation centers. If you want to travel, where do you want to do your summer? I want to go to Dubai. And you will see the amount of how they have grown, how the people, the vision, how they are focused, the goals that they have brought, and how they have been working towards that. And that's why people want to go there to, and that's what is even helping their economy. The recreation, the buildings, the fun, you want to go and have fun, you want to relax, you want to go to Dubai. It's helping their economy, it's helping them progress as a country. And I feel like in Nigeria, if we had visionary, if we had goals, stated goals, and we're working towards them, it's not, if this government came and they're working towards this thing, another government will just come another year and they'll just automatically change. Why not work help complete what this person already started? And with that, I'll stop. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. If you just stop for a minute, I'd like to comment on the very interesting perspective. I think the first group mentioned that the question of fulfillment of promises. Fulfillment of promises. They write all this manifesto. I don't know whether even many of them even actually write down. Somebody else probably write for them. But it's a good point to say, do we go back and go and check what they said they were going to do? At a minimum, what have they done towards that? No, it's a very good point. Thank you so much.
For one of the things we have here for my group is policies and framework. And what this means to us is how sustainable are the policies your government is bringing, and the continuity. Are you bringing policies that will favor just your tenure, and the next government comes in and does it with that policy and comes in with something different, but you have people who've already invested in the old policy. So how sustainable are your policies? And another thing we have here is emotional intelligence. We want a leadership that is empathetic, that's hands-on and present. Not that you would have to be called to speak to your people. You are relational. We can talk to you about our problems, and you can put yourself in our shoes and you understand our problems and the likes. And finally, we have what we call international relation. We want a leader that can sell Nigeria to the world. You are out there and you're selling our country to the world, and you're not just collecting Greek gifts. You understand what these things mean, and you can go out there and you bring investment for Nigeria and can sell our story. So that's all we have here for us.
Thank you so much.
Actually, we just have some few points here to scale a good governance. Number one is ability to give to the society than what they want to get. We have governance that they are there for what they actually want to get, not what they want to give to the society. A program like this can also be organized by even our government to educate people and help them to know some things, to mentor them, not just public individuals coming up and saying that we want to do something for the society out of aggression and out of everything. And number two is the ability to see before it's happened. Ability to see before it's happened. One of my best quotes is hope for the best and prepare for the worst. And the things that happened in Owo the last Sunday, or per Sunday or so, it's something that everybody should have believed that kind of thing may happen. We should have prepared for the worst that will have happened. And the security should have been set before then. Because knowing this now, after that Sunday, the security of Nigeria, you see that the way everybody is now prepared is now different. The way everybody is seeing security is now different. In fact, I had a voice note of someone who says that in your house now, you should have a mortar or you should have a gun inside your house so that you can be able to save yourself from evil. In fact, some people are now saying that it's good that you can even go to church with a gun so that you can just keep yourself and secure yourself. We should avoid that. Also, is settlement of debts. A government that comes in and is owing a particular debt and is living there and the debt is still increasing.
That's
part of the things that a good government should check. Also, productivity. The ability to announce youths. We have youths numerous youths in this country that knows in fact, if you have many of them that you see that they enter into fraud, before somebody can be able to do fraud, he has to be intelligent. Those people, they are intelligent people before they can be able to do fraud. So, if government can actually make use of our youths, there are many of them, they are striving out of no light, no electricity, no good this, no good that. Everybody's making a way out. If government can also use them, it will also be better. Also, we see the annual earning of a nation, if it is increasing or decreasing, that's the GDP. And also the eradication of poverty in a country. Over 2 billion people do live below $2 per day in Nigeria. So we also have fund management, right management of revenue and expenditure. Also, we see investments in agriculture. How are they investing in agriculture? Also, the government and the citizen relationship. The government and the citizen relationship. Is it okay? We discover that our youths, we are social media. Why our governments, they are in another part. They are not, we are in the social media. That is what is happening right now. Everybody, if you see in the social media, is obedient. Somebody is charging up the social media, while some also, they are using their mentality, they are playing games with our government. I think that's part of things that we can also...
I don't understand that obedience issue. I'll get it down low later on. No problem.
Okay, lastly, before I drop the mic, successful handing over. When there is an handing over, yes, let it be done peacefully. Let it be done peacefully. Not numerous people dying before and after an election. Or you hear that somebody is elected. Look at what we are celebrating today, June 12th, is someone that was killed after an election. So we should have a peaceful handing over.
Wow, wonderful.
Okay, so I'm going to speak on the leadership, the sort of leader that will take this country out of the poverty, line that we are presently in. And I will touch on different areas, which has to do with security, harmony, cost of effective governance, economy. But let me just say, first and foremost, there are 3 major reasons for governance. The reason for government, first and foremost, is for security and welfare. So if those things are not in place in leadership, in governance, so there's already a failure right there. So, and then again, light. We need a leader that would address the issue of light in Nigeria. Light is dependent on everything that a nation is built upon. Because in the beginning, let me just digress a little bit. In the beginning, God did not create anything or did not do anything. The first thing he ignited on the face of the earth was light. And there is a purpose for that. Because that will give the foundation for, the nation or the environment to have illumination, to understand and be able to see the visions that they want to put in place. And once that is not corrected, there is so much a leader can do. And we need transformational leaders. We need leaders that will come in and transform every sector of this society. We need reformational leaders. We need, when it comes to this poverty thing in Nigeria, we are 90 million of Nigerians are living in extreme, abject poverty. That is over half of a nation. So any leader that will come in and cannot address that immediately, we do not need such leaders. And and then next, we cannot even have an established and a prosperous nation without our security being sorted. Because how do you want to have a settled nation? How do you want to have a people that can be productive and innovative when everywhere there's so much unrest? So that must be addressed immediately. And before a leader can address that, with the present Nigeria that we are in, with so much happening with security, herdsmen, Boko Haram, all sort of, militant groups rising up here and there, we need a courageous leader. We need a bold leader. And we need a leader that is not tribalistic or going to consider any ethnic situation. A leader that will come in and make drastic decision to address the issue of security in our land. Then to address the issue of poverty, we need a leader that will just, provide the basic needs. I think somebody already touched on that. I don't think we need a leader right now that will come in and focus on the big schemes of things. Because we even have all of those things in place and they are not working. We need a leader that will even begin to repair the small things and put basic things in place. First, security, good water for the people, housing for the average Nigerian people, food production, like farming, that we look into all of those areas, and a leader that will be able to bring a united front. Because if we don't have a united front as a nation, then it's still going to border on security issues. So, and we need a leader when it comes to the issue of the cost of effective governance. We need a leader that will address the sort of leaders, the senators, the people in the National Assembly, and the sort of expenses they are running, the sort of salaries they are collecting. Some of them, their salaries, oh my God, and all the benefits unnecessary that we read about and we know about is just so outrageous. We need a leader that will come in and cut down drastically on all of those areas. We need a leader that a transformational leader that will be able to harness all of our natural, resources. God has blessed us as a nation. We are so blessed. We have oil. We have gold. We have coal. We have just named the natural resources. God has blessed us so much as a nation. But we are not even harnessing all of these things. We need a leader that will begin to help us to focus inwards as a nation. What can we begin to produce for ourselves as a nation? Because we are so dependent on importing. We don't have so much we are doing for ourselves in terms of productivity. So I will not take much time, but I will just round up on this, that we just need a leader that will address the issue, first and foremost, of light. Because light brings a certain sort of energy, and that energy is positivity. That energy represents goodness. It represents awesomeness. It represents vision. It represents everything good. But when you have a nation that is only darkness that is, always over the land, everything that darkness represents is what we'll continue to see over the environment. So we need a leader that will address security, address the poverty situation of our nation, and for that to also be addressed, they must address the educational sector. Educational sector, that is almost going dead in our nation, and address the welfare of the people to bring us out of this poverty situation by creating social security schemes that will help the people and create job opportunities. And I pray God will give us such leaders in Nigeria. Amen.
I'm sure you feel very empowered now. So next time you're having a conversation with people, it's no longer emotional, you know, this party, but you can have structured conversations. And then, of course, among these groups, you can take these things forward as well to pursue them. And then for those who are going to government, you can then give them your own blueprint. If you don't have a blueprint, this is my blueprint, my 10-point program. So we give it to them. So that way we can begin to influence them to do better. So we're going to put it out together as almost like a communique from this group. And of course, this is going on YouTube and YouTube. So all of these clips will be put out as well too. So we don't know how far this will go. So it feels very powerful that we have done this afternoon.